What if I told you that I solved one of the most annoying parts of running a service-based business? Have you been in this situation before, chasing clients to upload supporting documents just for them to ghost you as if they're not the ones that paid you for your help? Then at the very last minute, just days before a deadline, they'll finally upload the documents you need, creating a fire drill for your team. This is why I created a document collection agent, which collects the documents, then it checks to see if these documents are the ones that we had requested. And if not, it'll send continuous email and phone call reminders for the ones that we have not received yet. Now, this is typically part of a larger onboarding system that I implement for my clients, but every single one is impressed by how well it works and how much time and hassle it frees up. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to build it completely for free. I've stripped down the workflow a bit just to make it more digestible. And I'll go into each individual step and what everything does. But for now, I want to show you a demo of this agent right here, the document checker. So this is the prompt that we're giving the agent, and you can pause here to read everything if you want. But what's important is number 4 here, and that's basically we're giving the agent a checklist saying we're expecting 3 types of documents: a profit and loss statement, a balance sheet, and a notice from the IRS. One thing to note is that we're not giving the agent access to read the documents and scan it. Well, we could do that and it'll increase the accuracy of this document checker, but because this is on the cloud, I don't really want to deal with the security nature of this because these files are typically very sensitive. Now, if this were in like a production ready scenario, you could host this on your own server and have a local large language model, which would do all that for you. But for this example, we're not going to get too deep into that. After the document goes through those checks, we're going to give it this step, basically saying that if all 3 documents match or they're recognizable variants, I want you to return the string checklist matched. If one or more document types are missing or not found, I only want you to return the not missing checklist items. And then this is the specific output schema that we're giving it. So let's say that this is one of your onboarded clients. And now that we know what the agent is looking for, you can tell that they only provided one of those 3 things. Now, typically in a production ready scenario, you'd want to have a more secure drop-off location than Google Drive, like ShareFile, but this will do for this example. Now that we know that these are the 2 things that the client provided, we're going to run our agent. Okay, so let's run this agent here. And let's see the output. So from that folder, it pulled out those 2 documents. One was called 2024 P&L. The second one was called the tax return information. And so it's checking against our checklist. We're looking for a P&L and we're looking for a balance sheet and notes from the IRS. So we're missing these 2 items down here. And so when we have checklist match, it's going to return those 2 items that we did not get from the client. From there, we're going to feed it to an if node saying that only if checklist is matched, meaning all 3 of those documents that we wanted was provided, then it'll pass through this true router, which sends an email to the internal team saying that, okay, this person finished, they're finished uploading the documents, and then it also uploads or updates the CRM for onboarding progress to finished. And I'll go into a little bit more about why this is important. Now, if it's false, it's going to go down here. One is sending an email to the client. And let's see what this would look like. Oops. Let's test this. Oh, it's sent. So let me go to my email. And you can see here that this is a very basic email, missing documents. Hey, Brian, we are still missing the following items from you. Please provide these supporting documents as soon as you can. Balance sheet statement and notice from the IRS. Obviously, we can tweak it to make it look prettier, but this is the basics. And the second step that I typically implement is the phone call to the client, right? You can use Twilio or 11 Labs or something like that to actually send a voice call agent to this client. So we're basically hitting them on every single touch point, bothering them until they finally upload the documents. Once we do that, we're going to go back to our onboarding CRM and then update the new time to today. So let's go into why this stuff actually matters in terms of uploading the CRM. So let's start from the top. This part of our onboarding automation kicks off when a client signs a document, so their engagement letter, and they're officially your client. Then this is going to your CRM. Right now we're using Google Sheets. And what we're doing is basically a get row from our CRM, and we just want to get that specific lead. So actually this would have to, we would need one more filter here, and we would have to filter by the email address, email, and then this would be the information from whatever software you use, DocuSign, put that email into here, and it'll only bring that one lead like so. So let me show you the CRM. So you can see here, this is our CRM. It's pretty basic. We only really need these 4 columns. You can always add more stuff, but we're keeping it basic. Now, after we get that lead, we're going to create a folder for the client. Like I said before, if this are production ready, this would be like a share file. And we would create this folder for the client and then share that folder with the client with the document request checklist so they know they can start uploading those supporting documents. The final step for this setup is we're going to update the CRM onboarding progress. So going back to that same CRM, what you want to pay attention to is down here, values to update. Everything else is pretty straightforward. Update row. So we're updating the row and we're matching it against the email. So the email that came in from DocuSign, that's the one we're matching against. And we're basically just filling in those 2 blank columns. Onboarding progress, we're going to keep it to in progress. And the progress date, we're going to do today's date. And I'll show you why this is important. So now that we have the in progress and the progress date, we get to go to the second part of our workflow. Now we're going to run this every single day. Every day we're going to scrape or pull all the leads in our onboarding that are in progress. So we're going to run this. We're going to have that one lead come through. And it's going to give us the progress date, which is basically when we first sent them that initial document request checklist. We sent them the instructions basically saying, now you can start uploading those documents. So that's our start date. Now, if we look at this if statement here, this is just saying that is today, meaning the time that this agent is running daily, is that after this right here. And what this is basically that initial start date, the progress date, plus 2 days. Plus 2 days. Now, this is a little bit scary to look at, but what you can simply do is just go to ChatGPT. You can give them this right here, the JSON, and say add 2 days to this. They're doing everything in milliseconds, which is why it kind of looks weird. But the reason we're doing 2 days is just, it's pretty arbitrary, but we're saying that every 2 days where this client is still in progress, I want you to check their folder, see what kind of progress they made. If the checklist does match, then I want you to, end it there. And if not, then we're going to keep running this every 2 days. So it doesn't have to be 2 days. It could be every week or so if you don't want to bother them too much. But that is the check that we're doing. And then after that, it's going to filter through what I showed you in the beginning, this document checker agent. Let's run this one more time. Let's run this here. And then maybe I'll go into a little bit more of the specifics of what this agent is doing. So these are the 2 tools that I gave the agent. If this is their first time setting up an agent, you have to give it a chat model, right? So it looks like I just connected to GPT-4o. I think that's a chat model. I meant large language model. And then for the tools, we're going to give it 2 things. One is to find the folder by email. Sorry, find folder ID by the email. So what we're doing here is we're going to do resource file folder, the search operation. And for the filter, we want files and folders. And this is basically the main parent folder that we're hosting all of our client folders. Now from here, I'm basically telling it to retrieve the folder ID. So that's the first tool again, right? And then the second tool is find contents of the folder. And you can copy the same thing here. But the AI agent knows that from the first tool, you're going to get a folder ID. Now I want you to use that folder ID and get me the name of every single file that's in that folder. So we're going to still do file folder search and folder ID. We're going to add a placeholder variable here, which basically just looks like from AI folder ID. Yeah, to give you an example of what it does. So populate this with the parameter passed from the large language model. So basically the AI is figuring out what variable needs to be here, and it knows it's going to be the folder ID. Now then it's going to use this folder ID, and I want you to retrieve right here, options, the field, the name of those files. Now the last step is the output schema. Now I just did it this way so we can keep it consistent. I think I actually also copied this in here. So for our prompt, yes, this output format, I also put it into this output parser. This is the same code. Basically just saying I want the AI agent, whatever answer they have, to output it in the same predictable format. And the final step is the actual prompt that we're giving the agent. We already went over this in the beginning of the video, but I'll say that if you're trying this yourself and you're having a bunch of issues, one good tip that I would have is to write out your prompt for exactly what you want the agent to do, and then put that prompt into Grok or even ChatGPT, telling it to write me a prompt of this prompt. And it's going to format it in a way that might be more digestible for the AI to read. So if you made it this far into the video, I want to do one more demo for you guys. Now, if we go back into this folder, let's change the name to this to balance, let's spell it incorrectly. Balance sheet 2024. So let's run this again and let's see what the agent comes back with. I worked a little harder there. Okay, cool. So contents of the folder are balance sheet, 2024 P&L. This is the same. And it's recognizing that we got these first two, and now we're just missing this third one. So hopefully that was as cool to you as it is for me and my clients. If you're a business owner and you're making over $250,000 a year, I want you to DM me the word audit on my LinkedIn, which will be in the description below. And I'll give you a 30-minute free deep dive call, looking into your business, seeing where AI is the most impactful. And also I'll give you free resources like this document agent so you can plug and play it into your business instantly. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on LinkedIn.